Welcome to your daily Google News. I'm super excited to have Chase Clymer here with Electric Eye. Chase, appreciate you jumping on the show with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to dive in here.
Yeah, so you're e-commerce guru. Looks like something of a serial entrepreneur, at least in the way that you've helped other brands at a minimum, and know quite a bit about the e-com space. So that's going to be helpful because that's a pretty big footprint as far as our listeners are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, my claim to fame now is definitely in the Shopify ecosystem. Our agency's got, I don't know, some clout there, I guess. We're pretty good partners with Shopify. We're about to do a course with them and, hang out with some of the other cool apps like Klaviyo and stuff like that. Also did a course for them. But yeah, I mean, outside of the agency, I'm also the host of a podcast called Honest Ecommerce. So if you like all the nonsense that I'm talking about today, you can go find a bunch of that stuff on either YouTube or, on wherever you like to get podcasts.
Yeah, we'll link to the podcast, link to the agency. I'm going to ask for more than anybody who's ever interviewed you is going to ask for, and then we'll contend with it together. I love like the little hinge that moves the big door, to steal my buddy Ralph's term. And given what you know about e-commerce, I've got 50% of our listeners are agencies, the other half are business owners, and a ton of them are in the e-com space. They have limited time, they have limited money, which you and I both know as agency. I just turn them down. I'm like, look, I'm not, I'm rooting for you. God bless, good luck, etc. But let's take those people for just a minute and help those people, and then prioritize the tasks that you would offer an e-commerce store owner. Here's how to make sure you put your best foot forward before we run paid traffic. Like, what's the, give me the hacks, the tips, the tricks, the secret sauce.
Okay, first is I don't care what you think your website can be improved. It's maybe an inch, maybe a mile, but a website's never done. It's not good enough. Like, that's a bad perspective. It's a living, breathing thing, and it's always needs to be updated. Your offers are changing, and so should how you present them on your website. So number one is, if the number one way to increase your return on ad spend is to make your website better, make it less friction points, answer the fears, uncertainties, and doubts that your browsers might have about your products and the purchasing and the returns and all that stuff. Make it make sense. There are so many websites that you get on, and it just doesn't make any sense. And founders and the team members are like, well, that's just how it always is. And I know how to find that. That's cool for you, but your customer has no clue how to do that stuff, how to jump through hoops to get to what they need. And they need all the information in the world. They need their hands held. And like the big players out there, like the Walmarts and the Amazons, there's training people on browsing habits that are almost second nature to most customers that are actually using the internet to buy these days. And the further you kind of get away from some of those things, the more difficult you're making it to actually have a conversion on your website. So your customer journey needs to make sense. Answer all the questions that they're going to have before they press that add to cart button and before they're like, actually going through the checkout flow. Like, that's the number one advice I can give everybody out there. But caveat I will say is, if you're a startup, ignore everything I just said and just try to get sales.
Just try to sell some shit.
Yeah, just get out there and put your offer out there.
Yeah, because you just kind of have to pound the pavement and figure out, there's, if you stay in the lab, you're never going to learn. Mm-hmm. You're just going to sit there and iterate with yourself, which, it gets very echo chambery really quickly. So I think it's phenomenal advice. I love the answer the objections up front. I think e-commerce store owners specifically are really bad at that. Yep. It's like, well, I'm selling a thing, and you know what the thing is, so you already know what it's supposed to do, what it's not supposed to do, etc. And the answer is no. No, they don't. And the more content and education you can build around that, the better. I had a friend, he had the largest memory card business on the planet for a really long time. He ended up exiting. His name's Dave Conklin. He owns Conklin Media. And dude, the amount of content they built around memory cards was nuts. It was insane. And you think like, it's a memory card. You plug it in, you download some shit on it. But he went 19 degrees into, it was unbelievable, but it's what it took to sell memory cards. It was exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's just your assumptions. I literally interviewed someone today on the podcast, and she was the founder of a brand called Bubble, doing skincare products for younger people. So like, think like preteen girls and teenage girls. Anyways, she was like, I went into this thing and we did all this market research, and she's like, everything I thought about at the beginning was just so wrong, so off base. It changed the tone of the messaging, the marketing, and what people found was important on the website and what we actually displayed to people before they purchased and where they actually wanted to purchase these things. She's like, my assumptions going into it were just so far off base. And Actually, one of our coaches that helps us with CRO was telling me the other day, he was like, and I can attest to this as well, our clients don't do it. And anyone listening, I'm trying to teach you something to do, which is they don't actually do customer research as much as they should. They're not actually asking people, what actually made you buy today, or, asking people that are leaving, like, why didn't you buy today, and using all that advice to make their website better.
Yeah, those little interstitials, I forget who this was. I'd love to give them credit. But I interviewed her on perpetual traffic and her name escapes me. She has exactly what you just said. When somebody converts, immediately post conversion, and the way that she phrases it is pretty brilliant too. It's like, can I ask you for a favor? So now they're more compelled to provide you with information, and it drops the barrier too. It's like, hey, I'm not trying to play gotcha, but can I ask you for a favor? Why is it you chose whatever? And the information that she gets out of it informs her marketing. And that's where all of her CRO comes from. It's like, I'm going to take my winners and use that to create more winners.
And once you get the flywheel built, it just will take off.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about scalability a little bit for SaaS, because not SaaS, excuse me, e-commerce. Dude, there's some brands out there that, like, cell phone cases, right? Like, there's just some stuff where I'm like, there's no freaking way that this is going to work. What are your favorite categories, business types? Is it consumable products?
Dude, that's a great question. And it was hard to define this. So whenever you're in business long enough, you're going to build this thing called like customer avatar, client avatar, whatever. Sure. It's like, these are like our ideal people. So we did all this work kind of last year, and it was hard to like quantify and say like what this thing was that all the best clients had. And the best way that I could do it is like, there's a scale when you're looking at a product, and on the left-hand side, this is more of your commodities and things that would probably do pretty well on Amazon, or you could buy it in a gas station maybe. It's something where you don't really know the brand of it. And then over here is your Nikes and your Lululemon pants and things where you're kind of searching brand first. And the further they're over here to my right hand is what I'm shaking. I don't know what it looks like on this computer screen. The further you're closer to more of a luxury thing and a more brand thing, the better kind of results that we see with kind of the playbooks that we play with. And that's just kind of what we're good at, and what our team has experience with is like brand building and building kind of journeys and funnels through that lens. I think with the more commoditized things, there are probably agencies out there that are a lot better than us and that can help you like find the wins on those razor thin margins and kind of sell that stuff. But the funner stuff is like more lifestyle brand, more on the luxury side. And they got a healthy margin built in, so you can actually afford to acquire new customers. That's something that a lot of people don't think about.
Oh man, it's huge. I think a lot of people can make it to, you can approach a 7-figure business without factoring in cost of customer acquisition, independent of, let's say, like a really strong referral source or a really strong influencer. But then past that, trying to scale beyond it with, razor thin margins, there's just no way. Where are you getting your traffic? Like, what's your playbook look like? Are you Google people, Facebook people, not paid at all, organic?
Both. Okay. Well, for our customers, my favorite funnel is like my first funnel for like a lot of brands out there. Like if you're like breaking into like that $1 million range and you're trying, like, your goal is like, when are we going to get to 2? Like we're about to hit 1, right? And you're thinking ahead, doing, if it's something where people are actually going to be searching for it on Amazon, maybe like Google shopping is always going to perform for you pretty well to getting people that are pretty incentivized at like the top, and at the middle, just retarget them on Facebook. Because you're not paying as much to retarget them there. And that's like a pretty easy funnel to do. And then at the bottom, just be hammering them with your email automation software and like build that thing out the right way and start optimizing it. And it'll start to do the work for you. And then once those things are working, you can start to like dive into some other channels. But yeah, Google, we love Google. Facebook is definitely dependent on the creative that you're getting from whomever's involved in the project. Cause like,
you do creative, or do you make your clients do creative?
Right now, we're partnering with our clients to help do it, or we've got some third-party resources that will tag on projects, and they'll do like influencer campaigns and source creative that way, which is really fun to get some more UGC style stuff.
Yeah, you do. UGC's goldmine, but it's hard to get. Have you played with Billio at all, or Billo? I might be saying it wrong.
No, but I'm gonna look into it after this.
Well, let me go make sure I'm saying the name wrong, because is it Billio? Commerce Media. It's a company that will, it's Billo. So Billo.app. And for like no money, they create, it's not necessarily UGC content per se, like traditionally speaking, because it's not a testimony or a case study, but it's somebody who knows what they're doing. These are media creators that have kind of figured out the e-commerce space. Let me share my screen here. And, like here's a gal who's showing you how to use the face cream or whatever. But it's insanely cost effective. And so right now we're just pushing all of our e-com clients. We push straight to below because, $60 a video. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
And Google with Performance Max is so media hungry that we're going to fly through media. So anybody who's trying to do, the $1,000 shoots with models and scripts and brand guidelines and all that BS, like it's not tenable any longer.
And all you have to do is just kind of send the product out there and comp it to them, and then you're getting creative in a pretty quick turnaround.
Dude, it's lightning fast. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's really interesting.
They're so good, and they have this massive pipe of creators. It's like Uber for e-commerce media creation. It makes me sad because I look at what some of these creators are doing, and the content's phenomenal, and what they're getting paid is nothing.
Yeah.
So it's once again, marketers have commoditized the art and pushed the artists into a position to where they're making no money. And I'm not happy about that. There's something really dirty about it. But if you need content and you need a lot of it, I'm not an affiliate. I'm going to go figure out an affiliate thing with them. I don't like creating media for clients. I don't like being held accountable to it.
Here's a question for you, because now we're kind of getting into the sauce on our favorite tools. What are you guys using for kind of attribution tracking over there? Northbeam. Yeah. So we're team Triple Whale over here. But dude, just because
I keep hearing about Triple Whale. I haven't played with it yet. But it feels like Triple Whale, like in the last 90 days, when did they come out?
I will see. I got the inside scoop. They're from Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, and they work out of the WeWork where some of our team members work.
Do they really? So what? It's just like bootstrap dudes that are like.
Well, you'd think that, right? You'd think that that's the only connection. But our project manager's brother went to school with the CEO here in Bexley, Ohio.
Awesome.
So it all came full circle, and we're like, wait, you guys are building like a really amazing tool that solves a lot of problems that our customers are having. So now with a lot of our marketing engagements and some of the new offers that we're testing, like performance-based stuff, we're just like, look, you're using Triple Whale, and there's no questions about it now because this solves every problem that we're all going to have.
That's it. So I invested in Northbeam, full disclosure. Mm-hmm. Like I wrote them a check. If you ever want to lose money, call me for investment advice, Chase. Like I am a master. And it's been a godsend. We've got a publicly traded company that does 7 figures a month in spend. And without Northbeam, I would have lost that client. B, their campaigns would have failed miserably. And we've now turned them around to a point to where it's unbelievable.
I think that, and this is going to be the most basic thing, and I think both of these companies are going to hate what I say here, is like they solve similar problems in creative ways that are relatively similar.
It's probably the exact same shit, dude. Like,
yeah, but it's kind of the devil that you know. But like, we've been loving it for what we do. But essentially, having a solve for that attribution tracking is awesome.
Yeah,
and the way that
they're cheap. Northbeam's not cheap. That's the other problem. Is $100 a month.
Well, so about that, you're going to want the one that has attribution as well, because that's going to basically give you a first party pixel.
So what the shit is it without attribution? What are they holding back? Or what are they even giving to you?
All the stuff on the left, and it just doesn't give you the customer journey attribution, which is what you want.
Yeah.
I think they're going to drop that bottom one because it should just all be in one.
This is ridiculous. I hate the whole, you want it to work? I don't mind tiered pricing from SaaS products, but I hate it when the introductory price is actually a non-functional thing. I'm not trying to beat up on Triple Whale.
Well, what I will give them credit for is what you're paying for at that price point is miles ahead of any reporting and analytics that you're going to get within Shopify. Like down to like, it'll like give you some scenarios for LTV calculation that you can run. It'll give you, these are things that you should be bundling together in like bundles just on your site. Let's go. So there's some cool stuff that it has built into the reporting, but the pixel is where the money is.
Yeah, this looks super cool. I'm gonna go reach out to Triple Whale, see if I can get them on the show.
I'll introduce you guys after this.
Oh, that'd be great, dude. Yeah, are you an affiliate or a partner or anything?
Oh, we are. I think if you use the term Electric Eye, you'll get a nice discount.
Okay, cool. We'll drop that in the description too. Until I become an affiliate, and then I'll replace yours with mine.
That's fine. That's the game, man. You got to get that passive income.
Dude, that affiliate. So by the first 10 years of my career, I just ignored it. I was like, what is this going to do for me? But then if I had actually buckled down and everything that I ever pimped out, if I'd taken the money, I'd be done. Yeah. I'm just such an idiot.
Oh, well, now I'm speaking directly to anyone that works in SaaS sales out there, is like, when you reach out to an agency or a consultant or freelancer or whatever that probably wants your product, like I don't give a crap about the money.
Yeah.
I just need to solve a problem for my client, because what I say to my client is gold and they're going to use it.
Right.
Like the sale is inevitable, but the money isn't what I want. I want you to like answer my questions like quicker than like, a standard support line. I want it to actually solve a problem for them and work.
Know who feeds you.
Yeah. And then after that, like the kickback is cool, but like, whenever you're doing outreach, you got to lead with value and do it the right way. And I really don't care about the $7.50 I'm going to get a month from your app. That's not worth me putting in 2 hours of my time to sell this on your behalf.
100%. And actually, to the point that you just made, more often than not, you'll hear me on the channel say, I'm not an affiliate, because I just like to push people to, solid products. I am, go HighLevel. You're in the e-com space. You might not.
What do you mean?
HighLevel, it's a marketing automation solution meant specifically for agencies, but mostly for lead generation.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Dude, they're worth looking up. They're about to pimp out a Klaviyo style alternative, but their monetization model is genius. You pay one fee one time. It's $500 a month. You can have unlimited customers underneath your umbrella, white label, and you build them out as though it's your SaaS product. They've pushed the monetization onto the agency, which is why they've blown up. I think they have 13,000 agencies.
That's really interesting.
We're their fourth biggest affiliate. So if you sign up, go through my link. But
I mean, I think that lead gen is just in general, like lead gen's exploded, especially during the pandemic with a lot of hustlers working from home. It's like, I see a lot of people out there that are really trying to do the thing. It's just not something that we necessarily need help in at the agency, but I definitely love to see the work out there and people make their money.
Dude, that's my favorite thing. Anytime an agency tells me, like, because I'll ask behind the scenes. I used to do agency consulting or coaching for digital marketer. And the agencies that have a hard time genning up their own business, like, I hate to sound like such an asshole, but it's like, dude, that's what you're supposed to do for a living.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary thing. Like, well, I mean, let's just tell everyone, like, you're going to be able to survive off referrals if you do good business, but if that's what you're depending on, you're going to go out of business eventually. So you got to find creative ways to meet new people.
Yeah.
And an amazing one is podcasting and guesting and just doing content with other people. That one works wonders for us. Like having people on the podcast has been a cool growth channel for us. And then partnerships with other agencies or SaaS companies has been an amazing channel for us. And actually what we're going to go a little more top level here, and we're going to do some stuff with we're putting out an ebook soon. Cool. Which is all about like our brand scaling framework, which is like how we scale brands. It's more of a framework. It's less tactical. It's just high level. But once you plug in your own tactics for each of these things, you can go ahead and do it yourself or go take on some clients and do it for them. I don't care. But kind of just like been how we've been doing it at the agency for the past couple of years. We're putting that out as an ebook. And I just went to Shop Talk the other day out in Vegas, and every like giveaway thing that they had at Shop Talk was like so safe and corporate and just like blandly branded. So I'm like, dude, let's have some fun with this thing. So if they let me get away with it, the team, like we're going to go like punk rock zine style, like real loud cover to like catch people's eyes and get their attention. Because the goal is just one, to make them stop and look at it. And then hopefully it incentivizes them to actually open it up and consume the content. So that's going to be a higher level play that we're going to start doing here soon.
That's the real big key, man. It pisses me off how much, like you spend all this time, effort, energy building the course, writing the ebook or whatever. And you get people to take it, to buy it, to download it. And then 95% of them never consume.
Yeah, it's hard. And so playing that, we've done 2 courses. We did a course on Facebook ads. We did a course on like how an agency actually sets up Klaviyo and pushed all those things out there. But it's like the content could be great or not. It's all about the marketing.
Yeah, that's sad but true. I'm gonna shift this to Google because I'm a Google guy and that's where my interests are. Have you played with Performance Max yet?
See, I am not the guy that runs Google at our agency. I knew this question was going to come up, and I tried to snag Ryan earlier, but he's not available. So Ryan is all over it. Ryan is teaching me how to basically curve this question when clients are talking about it or potential clients are talking about it. It's that, and then Google Analytics 4 are the things that are coming up constantly.
I'm not worried about GA4 at all. Here's what Google did with Google Analytics 4 is they just took everything away. So right now, the question, like, what do we do with GA4 is nothing. You deploy it. There's 4 buttons in there. I could teach a retarded monkey to use it at this point. It's shocking how sparse it is. And my whole rule of life has always been to bitch about Google, but because of what they did with Performance Max, I think they did the same thing with GA4. I have a feeling a ton of really cool stuff is coming, but they need to get us all on the foundation first before they can start feeding us the, you know, the what would you just like the high end feature sets.
Yeah, our developer was kind of like explaining to us like how it works and how it's different than GA3. And he was just basically like, this is like night and day difference in technology. And he's like, now you can track things to the weirdest degree that you want on your website and make custom stuff within this. So from like a marketing perspective or a CRO perspective, anything like that, you can get extremely accurate, minute data on the new platform that you could never get with the old version of it.
Yeah, but they're lifting your ability to track individual users. So you're getting aggregated data for privacy reasons. So like the tracking is more advanced if you have enough traffic. And that's the really big caveat. So I think GA4 is going to hurt some small businesses, at least small businesses that have been good about capturing data. Most of them aren't. So I don't know, dude. We'll see. Where do you see the future of e-commerce? What are you worried about? What are you excited about?
What am I worried about? I'm worried about not a lot, man.
Does Amazon scare you?
No, because you can always have better customer support than Amazon at your own business, and that's gonna be your edge and how you win. You can get more creative with your offers on your own business. You can do better retargeting with your own business. Where Amazon's gonna edge out is more of that kind of commodity stuff, like I talked about earlier. I think that's always gonna do it. But if you're an actual brand, I don't know why
brands send their products to Amazon, because if you're a commodity product like you're saying, Amazon makes a lot of sense. But if you actually have a strong brand, putting your shit on Amazon puts you at such a massive disadvantage, I feel.
Yeah. Okay. So I've asked this question a bunch on the podcast when I interview, because like all I interview 9 times out of 10 now, all I'm interviewing is like a brand founder. Yeah. And whenever Amazon comes up, it's more like, so why are you doing it? And they're like, well, some people, that's the only place they'll buy. 2, it is a great discovery avenue, but they do very specific choices about what products will be there. So that's like they'll only have like, say it's like a skincare company or something, they'll only have like a bulk bundle on Amazon where all the other SKUs live on the direct consumer website. Or they have old styles on Amazon, all new stuff. You know, they make choices about what products actually live there. But you know,
that's a good pro tip right there. That's a golden nugget. If you're going to push to Amazon, do so in a way that incentivizes people to actually come back around to your site later. I like the bundle idea. That's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing, there's just been a lot of like kind of creative stuff going on, but the velocity in which Amazon can accelerate a business and help you hit like economies of scale to get cheaper shipping and sourcing and manufacturing is insane. So sometimes it's worth it just to do that.
They steal your business. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Dude, they will go and source and manufacture and produce whatever it is. You know, you're selling like a special type of headphones. Amazon's like, oh, check out Chase over there with the headphones. Next thing you know, they have a cloned product that is now the Amazon, what is it? Amazon's Choice.
Amazon Basic, I think is what it's called.
Dude, it's amazing to see that. I don't know why this isn't a bigger deal. Like Amazon is straight up jacking people's ideas, replicating them.
So
feature set by feature set.
Yeah, that came up on the podcast the other day with somebody, and you know, like, are you scared of people cloning your product? And he was like, no. He's like, because of all the work we put into the brand. He's like, people will still pay for the brand name on Amazon if you have a brand.
Yeah, the problem with Amazon is they're the $1 trillion Leviathan. I really do think that they could crush. They could do to e-com what Google did to SaaS. Google destroyed so many really good SaaS products, and they're like, oh, this is free now. You know,
I would love to see, you know, obviously being like a Shopify guy, you know, their whole mission of arm the rebels and help like small businesses succeed. Like I think the barrier of entry has never been lower with e-commerce, but I will say that Shopify does an amazing job of saying how easy it is to get started on their platform. And then they don't say the next step is like, once you get things going, it does take smart people to help you get to the next level. And like, you can become that smart and you'd have to invest a bunch of time and energy to learn all this stuff. Or you can, you know, go out there and hire people. So I guess maybe one of my fears in the future is the commoditization of the Shopify ecosystem. And just, there's so much talent here. And, you know, I hate to see a race to the bottom on service offerings.
Yeah, I think we're all dealing. I mean, dude, I'm in the Google ad space. You want to talk about a race to the bottom? It's insane. You can get people to run your ads for $150 a month. It's nuts.
Yeah. You get what you pay for, though.
Yeah, not the truth. People, I'm always their second phone call though, because I'll have folks tell me like, "Oh, you're very expensive." I'm like, if you think I'm expensive, go see what a cheap PPC manager costs you. Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, you can head on over to electriceye.io. Yes, we're named after the Judas Priest song. Or if you if you like the stuff that I've been saying, you want to hear me interview guests, and I'm going to have Kasim on the podcast here soon. You can head over to honestecommerce.co or Google that in your smartphone or whatever you listen to podcasts on.
That's cool. And what services are you offering? Web build, CRO, paid traffic?
We basically do two things: make my website better so the conversion rate goes higher, and then help me send more qualified traffic to my website. So a lot of paid and a lot of email and SMS consulting.
Very cool. We'll need your help with the CRO piece. We've got some clients that need help with that. We don't do any of it.
Absolutely.
Last words to you, man. Golden nugget.
Golden nugget of the day. I just was talking about this book the other day. There's a really cool fast read called Double Your Profits. I believe it's Bob Fizer. And you can find it for less than $5 used anywhere on the internet. Buy that book, read it. It's going to change your business.
Double your profits. I'm buying that bitch right now. Bob who?
Fizer or something like that.
Okay, cool. You're the man, dude. I like how fast you talk. I'd love to have you back on the show. I appreciate you coming here. If you're watching this, I shoot a video every day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Peace. Wait, before you go, I'm constantly looking for amazing people to come join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you're passionate about customer success, please go to solate.com/apply, and we'd love to see you as a part of the Solutions 8 team. Also, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that we actually know what we're doing. And don't forget to subscribe. We shoot a video every single day, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. Lastly, if you have questions, comments, concerns, confessions, or you just hate my face and my voice, go ahead and hit us up in the comments. We get very little human interaction, and even the heckling is something that I kind of get a kick out of. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being subscribers if you're a subscriber. Don't forget to apply if you're interested in working at Solutions 8. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.